Folks, it's June 11th, 2024, and this past week an incident happened at a mega church in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area that was totally avoidable and very de-escalatable. And unfortunately now a well-intentioned church volunteer on the safety security team, meaning well, is now facing felony charges. So what happened was a tow truck driver, repo guy, driving through, observed a vehicle in the church parking lot during service that fit the description of a vehicle he's looking for. So he pulls up on the parking lot to check it out. Church safety security addresses him. Great job observing potential suspicious behavior in the parking lot. He goes out there, addresses the repo driver, and kind of go back and forth. What are you doing? You're going to repo a car during church? Come on. Repo guy drives away. Well, he comes back later with the partner driving crazy through the parking lot to get up to this car that he's got his eye on. Well, church safety security personnel come out in mass, several of them, and this is where it goes off the rails. One of them pulls a gun and points it at him and says, "Hey, I'm willing to shoot you." Well, the police are eventually called and they sort it out. It turned out not to be the vehicle that was supposed to be repoed, but that could have been determined if people had just slowed down and asked questions, asked for paperwork. But no, a church safety security member volunteer got himself all jacked up and overreacted, pulled a gun out on someone, and now he's facing felony. Is there imminent danger of great bodily harm or death to anyone? If not, there's absolutely no reason to be drawing guns and pointing it at anybody. Slow down and assess the situation. In the state of Michigan, repossessions can take place on private property, like a church. However, if it's a legit repo and all that, well, then they should have paperwork and so on. Because, full transparency, a number of years ago when I was still on the police department, there was a crew of people going around stealing cars by posing as repo drivers and so on. So that stuff is out there. However, how could this situation have been handled differently? Again, great job observing some type of suspicious activity in the parking lot. You go out there, you address them. But keep in mind, when you talk to people, you don't have to be within arm's length. You can be about 30 feet away behind a car or next to a car that can afford you cover and concealment if everything goes sideways and off the rails. And if it does, it's going to happen quick. That's not the time to be scrambling and looking for cover and concealment. But you can call out to someone from 30 feet away, "Hey, is everything okay? What are you guys up to? Come on, are you going to repo a car during church? Do you have the paperwork? Know the law, know where you legally stand." And I see it time and time again. Good people volunteering at church, meaning well, but they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they're doing, and they get jacked up. They become offended, impatient, frustrated, and they overreact, sometimes with tragic consequences. And now again, this guy is facing felony charges because he pulled a gun on someone. Don't risk life or limb over a property crime. In the event this was actually a car theft in progress, call the police. Give a description, license plate, call the police, which was actually done in this situation in the first place, and it ended up being resolved. And it would have resolved peacefully without anyone being arrested, except for the church security guy who pulled a gun on someone. Slow down, assess the situation, react and respond to what's actually happening before you, not what you think is happening. Take a deep breath. Don't become frustrated, impatient, or offended. Know the law. This situation was avoidable and very de-escalatable.